Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Oilers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their now healthy quarterback at 29 years of age in his 7th season out of Stanford, Andrew Luck.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
On second down, here's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where the big tight end is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got
still
it.
First down.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They go play action here on 1st down. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a carry from Mack. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Here's Luck now on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's the offense, and if you're the defense, Charles, You really have to focus on that guy that's highlighted on the screen.
You're talking about pure speed. T.Y. Hilton can get down the middle of the field and really stretch a defense.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Luck. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jordan Matthews, his second touchdown on the season. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right.
High
That's
mark.
the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Sturgis adds the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. That time, a 6-play drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What's up?
Here back at the 21-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before he overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Now let's go!
Now on third and long, they'll
Now
look to
instant
throw.
block set on it,
Hands
running
into his
play.
left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. They give them 27 yards on the third down conversion.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Jamal Sheard on the stop. And let's go through the starting defense for Indianapolis.
I'm focused here on Aqib Talib. Into his 30s now, but still playing at an extremely high level, and has a reputation as a ball magnet. And a lot of people think that means the ball just comes right to him. No, he goes and gets it, both in interceptions, forces fumbles, and oftentimes turns it into 6 points for his own team.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
What's your speed?
Hurry up, here we go.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
Now let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
Set. Blue, line it.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning
Always
of the play.
Open for
One-on-one
user
matchup
and
of someone trying to
CPU the
cover
middle.
them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
319. Leopard 319.
He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Wow.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Long. Anunua's got it. Complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. To throw on 2nd down is Love. Got an open man. It's Enunwa. And he'll take it down shy the 45 at the 46. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Luck on 1st down. And Matthews has it right side. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
I'm looking at Jabril Peppers in the secondary, the 25th pick in the 1st round in 2017. Played in 13 games, 57 tackles and an interception. But what I like most about him is versatility. He can play cornerback, but I think he's best at safety. And a little bit of what they call nickel or dime linebacker, where he can go inside and use his tackling ability in the running game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Love. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush
Decent
hour
run,
in your
no
hometown
tears,
of Orlando,
LOL.
Florida. An absolute mess. So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
This fielded a few
Left
yards
side
into the
move,
end
no
zone.
false start.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jabal Sheard. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And pressure gets to him again. Jabal Sheard in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And we will not see another play as time has run out on this first quarter. 10-zip our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
You had X wide open.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and our drive continues here to start quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, here's Locke. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense
That's a
counters
glitch,
with
okay,
pressure,
just
and
stop.
the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. From the gun, here's Locke.
AI just stopped on that.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Now Locke on 3rd and goal. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Quincy Enunwa, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved
Do
with
you
that.
have a mic?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
All right, here we go. Now, check. Patriot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Left side here to Sanders. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being chased out left. And some room to work. And avoids the contact by sliding. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit
Nice
for good
run.
measure.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll go down as a loss of 8. And it'll be a second and long. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown,
Mike.
they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
This offense so far on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun! 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 Gun!
Okay.
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
All right, here we go. Now, check. Green 39. Green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So they get the 3 points, but they've now had 3 trips into the red zone, and that's all they've come away with.
And in the NFL, the way they measure red zone efficiency and success, did you score touchdowns on those drives? That's first and foremost. Getting points, that's the second measurement. So by that measure, they haven't done very well. They've got to figure that out.
Suckup now, set to kick it off,
All-Madden.
following the made field goal. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Yes, read the description.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now a first down throw. Lock. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
I hate that jogging returns. They need to patch that.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Pass incomplete. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was what's commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
And that is incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. And this is going to be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
It's ENT. Say it in the description. Just return of the Oilers Madden 2020.
They're going to look to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Take Carradine in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Colts will go on offense. Kin Company heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catches. Hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Staying on the ground with Mack. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck going for the deep ball. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there for Indy. 47 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of.
Watch your player Steve Parody.
On 2nd and 10, Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Charles Tapper in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Now Luck. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Colts send out their punter.
Jukes for
on
no
for his
reason.
second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an
That should
ill-advised
be a
throw to me. I
penalty.
didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
Lucky 56. Gone. Here we go. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Back to throw. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. On second down, here's Love. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They'll look to throw here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. He already had the one fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
They found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Lots of turnovers.
You got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Luck now on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Out of the gun, Luck. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. To the air again, Luck. The quick slant caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Come out throwing here to start the drive. Under pressure, and they got to him again. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll kick things off in the AFC West as we check on Kansas City hosting Denver. And it's the Broncos who have the lead in the second quarter. Demaryius Thomas, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Buffalo to check on the Bills at home in New Era Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Josh Allen has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets.
I would like for you to CHK out one of my streams on All-Pro.
The Steelers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In our game, it was Andrew Luck who had the hot hand in the first half. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now out comes Houston. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
I will put my link up on Matt10S. I'll be on Mixer.
Second and 10. They'll roll him out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now look at Quincy Enunwa and the rest of the offense heading back out. 2 touchdowns to his credit so far. Charles, I'm curious, do these wide receivers, what do they go in with each week? Is it different week to week for the goals that they personally set for themselves, do you think?
I doubt that it's different from week to week. Maybe because of game plan, they know that one guy might be featured more than the other. But all in all, these guys are looking for 100 or more yards in receiving. But the biggest thing, getting into the end zone. And how about him? He's gotten there twice in this game.
Yes, indeed. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Love. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now let's go. Green.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Detroit! Detroit!
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Tank Carradine getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face
Coaching
adversity like
adjustments,
this.
strip the ball on defense.
All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
He'll look to throw. He completes it to Bryant. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. This quarterback now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
They'll go option to the short side. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Set! Green, 39!
Looking to throw. Oh, he stays out, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And the Colts getting ready to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. They'll run it out of the gun, and he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. The Colts send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Fielded just inside the 20. Nearly really a huge return. As it is, still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make the play on the football.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll drop the throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting
Passing
the
is
tight
on
end there.
point. Both
Now
teams
brings up a
running is
second and
non-existent on
manageable.
both
Just
teams.
found a hole in that zone. They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll look to throw. Incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Suckup will put this one right through, and that drops a deficit from 28
Middle
to
is always
25.
open.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that'll be incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Sanders has it over the middle. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way on. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Taking it about the 16. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll... A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Colts, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.